Sir, very happy morning to all. Sir, this is a live class, my dear lovable students. I hope that you all are doing well and good and safe. Sir, yesterday and today we have missed class because of a red alert. So what I thought is we'll complete yesterday's and today's portion in online. So we have completed till A stands for agriculture and B stands for C, D, E stands for F, G stands for goods and GTA, H stands for healthcare services, I stands for immovable property and insurance, J stands for jungle, K stands for knowledge, L stands for legal services, M stands for MECA, N stands for NCCCD, O stands for other events, P stands for pension, right? We are going to start with Q. I hope that it is audible. Sir, you are able to appreciate or understand everything. Sir, in live, you can chat, my dear lovable students. Sir, yes, sir. Is everything perfect? Shall we start the class? In chat box, you can put an yes, sir. Is everything perfect? Yes, sir. Yes. So, very happy morning to all. Sir, till last class we have done, sir, till what is the last alphabet we have completed? Pension related services. Today I'm going to start with Q. Q stands for qualification. Q stands for, these are the exemption relating to qualification. Services provided by an education institution. Services provided to its students, staff and faculty. That means if there is an educational institution, if they provide service to their students, staff and faculty are exempt from GST. So who's the service provider? Education institution. Who's the service recipient? Students, staff and faculty are exempt from. So service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from. Number two, service provider is education institution, but by of content of entrance examination. They are conducting what examination? Entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fees. Against consideration in the form of. So who's the service provider? Education institution is the service provider. There are two service recipients are there. In that service, number one, service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from. Service provided by an education institution, sir, by way of conduct of entrance examination. Conduct of against consideration in the form of what fee? Entrance fee are exempt from. So, repeat once again by understanding who is the service provider. Education institution is the, so service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculties are exempt from. So, my dear lovable students, service provider is educational institution. Service recipient is student, staff and faculty. So, service provided by education institution to its students, staff and faculties are exempt from. Next one, sir, second exemption. Service provided by an education institution by way of conduct of entrance examination. By way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee are exempt from, for which the consideration should be received in the form of entrance fee are exempt from. Fantastic to the core. Coming to exemption number one, the second exemption, man. Services provided to an education institution. Services provided. That means in the first exemption, it is services provided by an education institution. Service provided. But this is service provided to an education institution. That means two people will be there, as we all know that. Service provider is equal to any person. Service provider is equal to, and service recipient is equal to education institution. Service recipient is equal to. So, if you are providing services to an education institution, which the services which I am notifying to you are exempt from what? So, services provided to an education institution by way of these 5 services, my dear lovable students. Transportation of students, staff and faculty. Tell me, transportation of, that means you are transporting the students, staff and faculty from one place to another place. That is exempt from. That means you may be an auto driver, you may be a van driver, you may be transporting students, staff and faculty from one place to another. So you are, sir, providing services to an education institution which is exempt from. Next one, catering, including midday meals. Catering, midday meal scheme sponsored by the central government, state government, or what territory? Union territory are exempt from GST. That means you are providing services to an education institution. What service you are providing? Catering services. What services? Including what day meals? Midday meal scheme sponsored by the central government, state government, or union territory are exempt from. Security or cleaning or what keeping services, housekeeping services performed in such education institution, performed in such education institution, performed in such education institution. That means if you are providing services outside the education institution, it is taxable. So security, cleaning or housekeeping services should be provided in education institution. Sir, security, cleaning or housekeeping services should be provided in education institution. Then that is exempt from. So this is service provided by education institution or service provided to education institution. Service provided to an education institution by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty are exempt from. Catering services including any midday meal scheme sponsored either by the central government, state government or union territory are exempt from. Security or cleaning or housekeeping services performed where, that is very important, performed in such education institution are exempt from. And number 4, services relating to admission or conduct of examination by what institution? Such institution are exempt from. That means you are conducting examination for that education institution. So you are the service provider and education institution is the what recipient? Service recipient. What service you are providing? Services relating to admission or conduct of what? Examination by such institution. And next one, supply of online periodicals and journal. Online education journals or periodicals are exempt from what? So you are supplying online educations and periodical to a what institution? So service provider, let it be any person. Service recipient is a what institution? Sir, how many services are? 5 services are there, sir. These 5 services provided to an education institution are exempt from GST. Comfortable, sir? Those 5 services are number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 and number 5. What is number 1? Transportation of students, staff and faculty are exempt from. Next ones are catering services including midday meals sponsored by either central government or state government or union territory are exempt from. The third ones are security, housekeeping and cleaning services at the education institution are exempt from. That means if these services, if you are providing outside the education institution, then it will become taxable. And the fourth one is conduct of examination. Tell me, conduct of examination is exempt from. And the last one, fifth one is supply of, you are supplying, supply of online what and what, periodicals and journals are exempt from. The first one, the first exemption is talking about services provided by an education institution. The second exemption is talking about services provided to an education institution. So services can be classified into how many category? Two category. Services provided by an education institution and services provided to an education institution, right? There are two services provided by an education institution are exempt from. Services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from GST. Services provided by an education institution by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee are exempt from. Now services provided to an education institution. So in this services provided by an education institution, how many exemptions are there? In services provided to an education institution, how many exemptions are there? 5 exemptions are there. Comfortable, sir? In that 5 exemption, what are the 5 exemptions? So who is the service provider? Any person. Who is the service recipient? Education institution. So service provided to an education institution by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including midday meal scheme, which is sponsored either by the central government, state government or security, housekeeping or cleaning services performed at such education institution, services relating to admission or conduct of examination by such institution. That means such institution is conducting some examination. Sir, as other person, I am helping that education institution to conduct the examination or supply of online periodicals and journals are exempt from. But however, that means they are going to create an exception to the exemption. However, nothing contained in sub-item 1, 2 and 3 of item B. Look at here. This is what clause A and this is clause B. Item A and item B. So we are going to talk about item B. In that item B, the first 3 things they are saying 1, 2, 3. What are the 1, 2, 3? Transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including midday meals, security, housekeeping or cleaning services. The 3 things are called as TCS. Sir, it is not tax collector at source, which is the shortcut TCS. T stands for transportation of students, staff and faculty. C stands for catering services including midday meals of the central government, state government or union territory, or security, housekeeping or cleaning services performed in such what institution? Sir, now you read it. However, nothing contained in sub-item 1, 2 and 3 of what B, item B, shall apply to a what institution? Education institution other than. That means these 3 things will be exempted only to number 1. Institution provides services by way of preschool education. Institution provides services by way of preschool education and education up to higher secondary or equivalent. That means TCS is applicable up to +2. TCS is applicable up to +2. That means if TCS are providing above +2, my dear lovable students, it is taxable. It is what? That means if you are transporting students, staff and faculty in a college, it is taxable. If you are providing catering services in a college, taxable. Security, housekeeping and cleaning services in a college, taxable. Because TCS is applicable only up to what? +2. That's what they are saying. The first 3 exemption, however, nothing contained in sub-item 1, sub-item 2 or sub-item 3 of item B shall apply to an education institution other than institution providing service by way of what school education? Preschool. Because only for preschool education, LKG, UKG, pre-KG, preschool and all, students cannot go by their own. So there they need transportation services. Sir, there they need catering services. There they need security services. But for a +2 student, above +2, college going, you tell me, sir, they themselves will go in bike and they themselves will come in bike, right? And they themselves will be eating from canteen. They will not be depending on the midday meals. And also, sir, they are assumed to be disciplined students. They don't need security or housekeeping services. So TCS is exempted up to what? +2. If you provide TCS services above +2, it is what? Taxable. And next one, sir. Besides this, in addition to this, nothing contained in sub-item of item B. What is item B? The second part. In that, what is sub-item 5? Sub-item 5 is supply of online journals or what? Periodicals shall apply to an education institution. Services by way of preschool education and education up to what? Secondary or equivalent, or education as a part of approved vocational courses. That means the fifth exemption is there. What is the fifth exemption? Supply of online periodicals and journals. If supply of online periodicals and journal, if you are providing up to +2, up to what? And vocational education courses, and what? That is taxable. That is what? Above +2, my dear lovable students, above +2 and vocational education courses are exempted. That means what they are saying is, they are actually bifurcating the 5 exemption. Sir, generally, normally, services provided to an education institution, 5 exemption, 5 items are exempt from GST. After saying that, they are saying that the first 3 exemption will be applicable only up to +2. Only up to what? Beyond +2, that will be taxable. So TCS will be exempted up to what? +2. TCS will be exempted up to. That's what they have mentioned here. Shall I read once again for your benefit? However, nothing contained in sub-item 1. My dear lovable students, what is sub-item 1? Transportation of students, staff and faculty. Sub-item 2, what is sub-item 2? Catering services including midday meals. Sub-item 3, what is sub-item 3? Security, housekeeping or cleaning services of item B shall apply to an education institution other than institution provide service by way of what? School education. So if TCS provided to a preschool education, that is exempt from GST, whereas education up to higher secondary or equivalent. So if you are providing this TCS to preschool education and up to higher secondary, that is exempt from. But if you are providing this TCS above higher secondary or equivalent, that will become taxable. That means these 3 services, my dear lovable students, which we will call it as TCS services. TCS services are up to +2 and above +2. Are you comfortable, sir? TCS services up to +2 are exempted. Brilliant understanding, sir. TCS services above +2, taxable, taxable. Whereas this services conduct of what? Examination. Sir, there is no classification of till +2, above +2. Let it be anyone. It is what from GST? Exempt from GST. Let it be anyone. This is exempt from GST. Are you able to appreciate or understand? So what they are doing is, look at here. This is tick, tick, tick. That means this is one set. That means this is called as what? TCS. TCS up to +2 is exempted. TCS above +2 is, and there is no classification of up to +2 and above +2. That's why we have put a dash. And here, sir, this is exempted above +2. That means up to +2 is taxable. The logic is, sir, supply of online periodicals and journal will not be used by pre-KG or LKG student. Because what to study in online, that pre-KG or LKG, if that is the case, that is liable to what? GST. Are you really with me? So, we are talking about educational institutions, sir. Educational institution is what Q stands for qualification. Their services can be classified into 2 categories. Services provided by an education institution and services provided to an education institution. Services provided by an education institution. If an education institution provides 2 services, that is exempt from. Services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty. Hello, sir. Services provided by an education institution by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee are exempt from. Now, Sir, you are going to provide services to an education institution. Services provided to an education institution by way of, sir, transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including midday meal scheme, either sponsored by the central government, state government or union territory, or security, housekeeping or cleaning services, sir, performed in such education institution, service relating to admission to or conduct of examination by such institution, supply of online journals or periodicals are exempt from. However, TCS, T stands for transportation services, C stands for catering services, S stands for security and housekeeping services, will be exempted only up to +2. Sir, if TCS services provided above +2, it will be fantastic to the core. And the next one, man, sir, for conduct of examination, there is no limit, sir. Whether it is up to +2 or above +2, it will be exempted. And my dear lovable students, and the last one, supply of online what and what? Periodicals and journals. Online periodicals and journal up to +2 is taxable and above +2 is. Have you all got this exemption, my dear lovable students? Now question arises. We are talking about Q stands for qualification. Qualification means who will provide the qualification? Educational institution. Sir, service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty should be exempt from. That means what you have to understand is ANM classes is not an education institution. If ANM classes is an education institution as per GST Act, sir, service provided by an education institution to its students, you are our students, staff and faculty should be exempted. That means on the fees we are not supposed to collect what? GST. But still we are collecting what? That means we are not a what institution? So there is a definition for education institution under the GST Act. Comfortable? What is that education institution definition? That is a very important thing. Education institution means an institution provided services by way of 3 things. Sir, if you are doing 3 things, then you can call it as what? Education institution. Number 1, preschool education and education up to higher secondary or equivalent. Because in India, up to +2, we are calling it as basic education. You are studying CA, someone is studying CS, someone is studying CMA, ACCA, all that like that it goes, my dear lovable students. Those and all are not basic education. Those and all are higher studies. Those and all are. So what government is saying that any education institution who are providing preschool education and up to higher secondary is a dash institution, education institution. That means, sir, up to +2, we are not liable to pay what? GST. We have not, sir, paid GST for preschool education or education up to what? +2. Because that institution is a education institution. Is ANM classes providing preschool education? No, sir. Is ANM classes providing education up to +2? No, sir. Till now, no, sir. Are you all really with me? It may, sir, we are having a plan to start preschool education also. Fantastic to the core. Sir, number 2, education as a part of curriculum. Education as a part of curriculum. For obtaining a qualification recognized by any law for the time being in force. That means education as a part of curriculum means above +2. Sir, for example, ICAI is there, our mother body. Our mother body is the person who are issuing the certificate for the CA students, right? After you become a CA, is the chartered accountancy course recognized course or unrecognized course? Recognized. Once you get the certificate from the ICA, will you be happy or sad? Very happy, sir. Are you all really with me? So that is education as a part of curriculum. In our education curriculum, my dear lovable students, CA, CMA, CWA, LLB, all are education as a part of curriculum. For obtaining a qualification, in order to get that qualification recognized by any law for the time being in force. That means that law should be in time being force in India. That means it should be, sir, applicable as per the Indian law, not as per the foreign law. So you may have a doubt, sir, even A&M classes are also helping to get that certificate only. No, sir. Even that is also education as a part of curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by any law for the time being in force. Then why educate A&M classes is not a what institution? Sir, after your inter, if A&M classes issues a certificate that you have completed your inter, will that be a valid certificate? No, sir. No one will respect, even you. So, my dear lovable students, we are not an institution, but ICA is giving that certificate. Will you value? We will value only that certificate. அந்த ஒரு அட்டத்துண்டுக்காக தான் இவ்வளோ கஷ்டமே. Right? That means they are having the authority to issue the certificate. For example, Bharatiyar University is there, or here in Tamil Nadu, what another university? Tell me. Madras University is there. Periyar University is there, like that XYZ universities are there. Sir, are they giving certificate or some other person is giving certificate? They are giving certificate. So even though that is, listen here, preschool and education up to higher secondary, even though that is more than +2, even though that is college, it is exempt from GST. Because it is an education as a part of curriculum. As per our curriculum, sir, BCom, MCom and all are part and parcel. For obtaining a qualification, you need to get a qualification, sir, MBA, BBA, BCom, MCom, which is recognized by any law. Their certificate are recognized for the time being in force, should be exempt from GST. But to get that degree certificate, you are coming tuition to me. Am I an education institution? No, sir. The same only you are doing for CA also. The person who are going to give the certificate is the ICAI. Whereas I am just giving you a tuition, private tuition. That is not an education institution. That is why services provided by A&M classes are liable to what? GST. Next one. Education as a part of approved vocational education course. If you are an institution, if you are giving education as a part of approved vocational education course, even that is also what? Exempt from what? Sir, in order to be a what institution? Education institution. You look at here, education institution. 1, 2, 3. 3 things you should do. Then only you will become an education institution. Number 1, you should provide preschool education and education up to higher secondary. Or above +2 also can be an education institution, but that education should be as a part of curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by any law for the, that means it should be what law? Indian law, and it should not be an education as a part of approved vocational education course should be an education institution. Once they become an education institution, any services provided by the education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from. You tell me, is A&M classes providing, sir, coaching up to +2? Then they are not. Are they providing coaching above +2? Yes, sir. Because for CA students, is that education as a part of curriculum? Yes, sir. There is no doubt about it. Is for obtaining a qualification? Yes, sir. Recognized by any law for the time being in force? Sir, our certificate is not recognized by anyone. So we are not. That is why when you are studying CA at private coaching center, it is liable to GST. And if you are going and joining in, sir, CA institute, they will not collect GST. Because education, they are providing education as a part of curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by any law for any time being in force. Comfortable? Sir, I have only one doubt, sir. What do you mean by approved vocational education course? What do you mean by approved vocational education course? This is what approved vocational education course. Approved vocational education course means a course run by an industrial training institute, which is nothing but ITI. Which is nothing but what? Or an industrial training certificate affiliated to NCVT, which is National Council for what training? That is what? NCVT. How we are having ICAI as a body, like that there are 2 bodies are there. One is NCVT and SCVT. One is NCVT, and NCVT means National Council for What Training, and SCVT means State Council for What Training, offering courses in designated trade notified under the Apprentices Act. That means there are two bodies are there. One is NCVT or SCVT. Under them, lot of programs they will be, sir, lot of courses they will be designing. If you are an institute who are providing those courses which has been approved by dash or dash, NCVT or SCVT, then you are an education institution, because education as a part of approved what courses? Vocation education. What is approved vocation education course? Any educational course which has been approved by either NCVT or number 2, a modular employable skill course approved by the NCVT. Again NCVT. I will tell you one thing. In examination, if any course has been approved by dash or dash, NCVT or SCVT, are education as a part of approved vocation education courses, then the person who are providing that become education institution. Then services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from a modular employable skill course approved by NCVT, run by a person registered with the Director General of Training, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, are exempt from what? GST. This is also a course called as modular employable what course? Skill course. If this course has been approved by whom? NCVT, then it is exempt from what? What is modular employable skill course? It is just a definition. We have to just read it, nothing more, nothing less. Is the minimum skill set which is sufficient for gainful employment or what employment in the world of work. The scheme provides certification on vocational training from NCVT, that is nationally and internationally recognized in the world of work in the government as well as private sector. That means if you are having a certificate, sir, under modular employable skill, you are saying that, sir, that course I have completed, then the people who are going to hire you will easily hire you, because those courses will enable you to get a minimum skill set. Minimum skill set. If you are starting an academy, sir, like A&M classes, to provide that modular employable what course? Skill course, then you can become a education institution. Once you are an education institution, service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are, it provide employable skill to early school dropouts, existing workers seeking skill upgradation, workers seeking certification of their skill acquired informally, or IIT graduate, etc., to improve their employability and provide certification after completion of the course. Certain people, because of the life situations, they would have dropouts earlier in 8th or 9th or 10th standard. But now they want to go to job. In order to go to job, they should know basic English, basic, sir, using of the laptop system and all. So this modular employable skill course will teach you that. And they will give you a certificate. Once you have that certificate, you can give that certificate to the employer, and they will know that, okay, fine, you know the basics of the work. Then they will easily hire you. So if you are such an education institution, sir, that education institution services are what from GST. Now, based on this example, you tell me, will you qualify as an education institution or not? Little Ways Public School is a school located in Tamil Nadu. Fantastic. The school has two branches. One is preschool and another is higher secondary, affiliated to CBSE. Sir, you tell me, is this an education institution? Yes, sir. A preschool and higher secondary school are what institution? Does Little Ways Public School qualify as an educational institution? Fantastic to the core. Question number 2. Sir, Kaladrishti ITI, sir, Gorakhpur is engaged in providing skill development courses in other than designated trade notified under the what Act? Apprentice Act. This is other than designated trade. Since courses offered by Kaladrishti ITI are not in what trade? Notified under the what Act? Education provided by it is not approved as vocational education course as defined above. Resultantly, it does not qualify as what institution? Because you read this part, my dear lovable students, approved vocational education course means a course run by whom? An ITI, or an industrial training center affiliated to NCVT or SCVT courses in designated trade notified under the Apprentice Act. But in the example, they are specifically saying that other than designated. So they are not education institution. Coming to what, sir? Number 3. Supermind, a coaching institute in Raipur, provides coaching for Institute of Banking Professional Selections, sir, probationary officers examination. They are conducting this tuition. Are they an education institution? No, sir. Supermind, being a coaching center which train candidate to secure a banking job, is not an education institution in terms of the exemption notification. Sir, Dharam Institute of Technology, a private engineering college in Madhya Pradesh, private engineering college which is above +2, offer postgraduate engineering program. All the engineering courses, sir, including the distance learning postgraduate engineering program offered by DIT, are recognized by law, the All India Council for Technical Education. So they are since DIT impart education as a part of curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by dash law, same is an education institution. Sir, once they become education institution, my dear lovable students, any services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are, we will be looking into the other example. SM Transport has provided service of transportation of students and faculty from their residence to school and back to Pathwheels School, a higher secondary school. Sir, TCS up to higher secondary are exempted. So service of transportation of what? Inter alia to an institution providing service by way of education up to higher secondary or equivalent are, comfortable, sir? Shiksha College offering degree courses, which is what by law, as to conduct its half-yearly examination in November. For this purpose, it has paid honorarium to paper setters and examiner not on the rolls of Shiksha College for their services. Further, it availed the printing service for printing the question paper, and paper and content are provided by Shiksha College for conducting the examination. That means services provided in relation to conduct of examination are exempt from. That means, my dear lovable students, services provided to a what institution? Relating to admission to or conduct of examination by such institution is what? Therefore, service of paper setter and examiner and printing service availed by Shiksha College are exempt. For this, is there any limit of +2, above +2, or for everyone this is exempted? For everyone this service is exempted because the first service, TCS, is exempt only up to +2. And the last one, supply of online periodicals and journals are exempted above +2. Whereas in between, conduct of examination is exempted to everyone. Comfortable, sir? Sir, Jnani Public School, a higher secondary school, has hired Suvidha Services Limited for security and housekeeping services in the school are exempted. Security and housekeeping provided within the premises of inter alia, a higher secondary school, is exempted. Therefore, such service provided by Suvidha Services are exempt from GST. Comfortable, sir? The school subsequently hired Suvidha Security Services for providing the security and housekeeping services at school annual day function organized in an auditorium outside the school campus is taxable because security, housekeeping and cleaning services are exempted only if the services are provided at education institution. Comfortable? So security and housekeeping services provided to Jnani Public School for school annual day function organized outside the school campus will be what? As only the security and housekeeping service performed within the premise of higher secondary school are. Coming to the next example, man, are you comfortable with Q stands for qualification? Little Millennium, a preschool in outskirts of Mumbai, has subscribed the online journals on child development and experimental learning, taxable. Service of supply of online journals or periodical inter alia to an education institution providing service by way of preschool education are not exempted because supply of periodicals and journal above +2 is only what? So what is the exemption we are learning? Q stands for qualification. Who will provide the qualification services? Education institution. That service can be classified into two categories. Services provided by an education institution, services provided to an education institution. Services provided by an education institution is services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty. Services provided by an education institution by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee are, now you are going to provide the service to an education institution. Services provided to an education institution by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including midday meals, security, housekeeping or cleaning services at education institution, sir, are exempt from GST. These are exempted up to +2. Services relating to admission to or conduct of examination by such institution are exempt from supply of online periodicals and journal above +2 are. So we are supposed to know what is education institution and what do you mean by approved vocational education courses. Both we have understood along with the example. Are you comfortable, sir? Now, sir, there is a clarification from the government. As we all know that IIM, that is Indian Institute of Management, it's a pride and proud to study at IIM. There is no doubt about it. They are providing various courses at IIM. They are education institution because their degree are approved by Indian law. But IIM and people and government were having certain doubt. Following summary table may be referred to while determining eligibility of various program conducted by Indian Institute of what? Management from exemption from GST. This is from this date onwards. All long duration program. If IIM is conducting what duration program? Question arises, what is long duration program? 1 year or more. If any course, if you are studying at 1 year or more, like you are going and studying MBA, BBA, or after +2 you are studying something after your degree, post-graduation, UG, undergraduation, conferred by degree or diploma as recommended by the Board of Governors as per power vested in them under IIM Act, including 1 year post-graduation program, is exempt from what? GST. So what government is clarifying that IIM is an education institution. There is no doubt about it. But IIM is providing both long-term courses and short-term courses. If the course is a long-term course, when we can say that a course is a long-term course, if the duration of the course is more than 1 year, we can say that the course is a long-term course. Then that is exempt from. Why it is exempted? Services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are, sir, IIM is an education institution. But government said that all short duration course. If you are providing what duration course? People asked, what is short duration course? Executive development program or need-based specifically designed program, less than how much year? Even you can go and attend a seminar in IIM, which may be validity of 7 days program only. So are you a regular student at IIM? No, sir. So government said that here, please don't try to apply, sir, service provided by an education institution to its student. They are not your student. They are just attendees. They are just participants. They may come and go within 1 year. Only they are studying with you. So it is not exempt from GST. It should be taxable. So one line summary of the entire discussion is IIM will provide what and what? Long duration courses and short duration courses. Long duration courses are exempted. Sir, short duration courses are taxable. This is a clarification which has been given by the government. Now, certain note, my dear lovable students. Services by way of giving on hire a motor vehicle for transportation of students, faculty and staff to a person providing service of transportation of students, staff and faculty to an education institution providing services by way of preschool education and education up to higher secondary or equivalent are also exempt from what? GST. What? I will explain to you. For example, there is one driver. That driver is providing service to an education institution by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty up to +2. You tell me, is this taxable or exempted? Is this taxable or exempted? Exempted. A driver, sir, services provided by the driver to an education institution, and the service is TCS services, you tell me, up to +2 is taxable or exempted? Exempted. Now this driver need a vehicle, tempo, auto rickshaw, or any means of transport. Sir, you being a chartered accountant are having lot of what? School van. You are hiring that school van to the driver. With that van only, that driver is transporting students, staff and faculty. Then this service is also what? Exempted. Now you read it. Service by way of what on hire? Giving on hire. Giving on hire in the sense means you are giving that the vehicle for hire, which is what vehicle? Motor vehicle. For transportation of students, staff and faculty to a person. Who's that person? Driver. Providing service. What he is doing? Providing service of transportation of what and what? Students, faculty and staff to a education institution. Providing service by way of preschool education and education up to higher secondary or equivalent are exempted. That means there is one driver who are providing services by way of TCS to an education institution up to +2 are exempted. To that driver, I am providing a service by way of renting of the motor vehicle. By that motor vehicle only is doing the transportation of students, staff and faculty, then that is exempt from the next one, man. Education institution providing non-recognized qualification with recognized qualification courses. That means there is one education institution who are providing both recognized qualification and non-recognized qualification. What you should do is what the clarification. Separate service to be assessed what? Separately. You have to separate both the services. In case of artificial bundling, to be treated as what supply and attract highest rate of what? GST. For example, there is one education institution. They are providing one course which are recognized by law and other course which are not recognized by law. For this course which are recognized by law, it is exempted. Whereas the other course which does not have recognized by law should be taxable. So try to segregate that services. If you are not able to segregate that services, treat it as mixed supply. And as per section 8 of the CGST Act, highest rate of tax will be applicable. Comfortable. Next one, sir. College, hostel, mess taxability. Sometimes education institution will be having, college will be having hostel inside the college. They may have mess also. They will provide what also? Food also. Catering services provided by education institution are what? Exempt. If that hotel is run by the institute, that is college, then it is exempted because education institution, service provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from. Whereas catering services provided by a third person in hotel, mess or colleges, it is liable to what? GST. If that hotel, if that mess is run by some other person, which has been given for lease by the college to that person, then that will become taxable because that guy is not a what institution? Education institution. Application fee charged for entrance or the fee charged for issuance of eligibility certificate for admission to or issue of migration certificate by education institution are what from GST. So if you are an education institution, you are getting a what fee? Application fee. For what purpose that application fee has been charged? Application fee charged for entrance or for fee charged for issuance of what certificate? Eligibility certificate. You are eligible to join this course. You are eligible to join in foreign country. For that they are issuing a certificate. For that they are getting some application fee. That is exempt from what? CBSE schools and SCBs to be treated as what institution? Because they are the board. How we are having +2 board, CBSE is also a board, state board and central board, CBSE board. Sir, for the limited purpose of providing services by of conduct of examination to the students, they are exempt from what? GST. Sir, we are having one more exemption linked, man. Services provided by training providers. Services provided by, if you are providing training under the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana, anything which are ending with Yojana are exempt from GST. What is the name? Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana. Tell me. Deen Dayal Ubadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya. So services provided by training providers. They are project implementation agency under Deen Dayal Ubadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana, implemented by the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, by way of offering skill or vocational training courses certified by the what? First itself, if you said this, no need to read, because any course which are approved by NCVT are exempt from. So under what scheme? Deen Dayal Ubadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana, which are approved by NCVT, are exempt from what? GST. So services provided by the training providers, training programs. Under Deen Dayal Ubadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana are exempt from what? GST. That's it. Q stands for qualification. All the exemption we have done. Sir, we will be doing illustration. We are having illustration number 1, my dear lovable students. Illustration number 2, my dear lovable students. That's it. These are the 2 questions. This is a very important slot for examination. Q stands for qualification. So, who will provide the qualification services? Education institution. Education institution exemption can be classified into 2 categories, right? Sir, services provided by an education institution. Services provided by an education institution, 2 services are exempted. Services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty. Services provided by an education institution by way of conduct of examination for which the consideration has been received by way of entrance fees. Services provided to an education institution by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including meals, sir, and security housekeeping on cleaning services, and conduct of examination, service relating to conduct of examination and supply of online periodicals and journals. Comfortable? Service provided under Deen Dayal Ubadhyaya Gramina Kaushalya Yojana are exempt from GST. Sir, take a 15 minutes break. Revise. Q stands for qualification, my dear lovable students, and I will be doing 2 questions, then you will be able to connect it that in a parallel. So we'll be waiting here, my dear lovable students. Revise and come. To appreciate or understand, my dear lovable students, please put yes or no and have a revision for 15 minutes. After the break, we will be continuing. So Q stands for qualification is what we have discussed. Are you comfortable, sir? Yes. So we'll take a break of 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, we'll be doing the 2 questions. Revise and come. Yes. I hope that we are live now. Students, please confirm whether everything is fine with regard to audio, video quality and all. Is it audible? Is everything fine? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you, man. Yes. So we are going to solve the next two questions and the regulatories also. Yes. So I hope that you would have revised. Q stands for qualification. Qualification will be given by the education institution. So services provided by an education institution and services provided to an education institution. That's what we have discussed till now. So whatever things we have discussed, we are going to apply in a question. Yes, sir. Question number 1 and question number 2 is the target. EduServe Limited, sir, providing educational services, furnishes you with the following information for the various services provided by it. It has collected an aggregate sum of 25 lakh during the month ended 30th September or September as the case may be. So they totally collected 25 lakh. Out of that 25 lakh, if some service are exempted, you have to reduce it. If it is not exempted, leave it. Receipts of Gyan Sagar, an industrial training institute, that is ITI, affiliated to NCVT. Any course which are affiliated to NCVT are, so for this 1,20,000, no need to pay GST. So we have to reduce because this 1,20,000 is included in the 25 lakh. So when you see the answer, total receipt is 25 lakh. From that 25 lakh, less receipt of Gyan Sagar on ITI affiliated to NCVT for vocational training are not liable to GST. It is exempted. So I'm reducing 1,20,000. Comfortable? Receipts of Educare, a vocational education provider affiliated to SSC. SSC means Sector Skill Council. Formed under NSDC. Formed under what? NSDC. This is also exempted because this is an approved course. Educational institution. They are approved by what? NSDC. So, receipt of Educare, a vocational education provider affiliated to SSC. What is SSC? Sector Skill Council. They are also a body, Sector Skill Council, like NCVT and SCVT, formed under National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, are exempt from what? 1,80,000. Coming to the third one. Receipts of Abhiyan Skill Center and ITI, Industrial Training Center, sir, affiliated to State Council for Vocational Training, that is SCVT Rajasthan. It is exempt from GST. So less receipt of Abhiyan Skill Center, an industrial training center affiliated to State Council for Vocational Training Rajasthan, not liable to GST. It is also exempt from what? GST. Receipts of Mission, an institute registered with Director General of Employment and Training, DGET, Union Ministry of Labor and Employment, running a modular employable skill course approved by NCVT, is exempt from what? First line you say that, man, approved by NCVT, then no need to read anything further, right? Hence this 1 lakh is exempt from, so less receipt of Mission, an institute registered with Director General of Employment and Training, DGET, Union Ministry of Labor and Employment, running a modular employable skill course, sir, approved by NCVT, are not liable to what? GST, since it is exempted. Fantastic to the course, sir. Sir, receipts of Screenart, a commercial coaching institute providing commercial coaching in the field of arts and science. No certificate was issued on completion of the training, is taxable. So no need to reduce it because it is included in 25 lakh. Let it included in 25 lakh itself. So less receipts of Screenart, a commercial coaching institute providing commercial coaching in the field of arts and science, shall be liable to what? GST. So taxable, nothing has to be reduced. Receipts of Commercial Concepts, a commercial coaching institute providing coaching in the field of commerce, A certificate was awarded to each trainee after completion of the training, but this certificate are not recognized by law. It is not, this course is not as a part of curriculum. Hence, it will become taxable. No need to reduce that also. Sir, less receipt of commerce concept. A commercial coaching institute providing coaching in the field of commerce shall be liable to GST. Liable for GST irrespective of the fact that what was awarded or not. Certificate was to each trainee after completion of the training should be taxable. Receipts of Gurukul school providing education up to higher secondary. Tell me, who's the service provider? EduServe Limited, providing education services, right? So they provided various education services. So receipt of Gurukul school providing education up to higher secondary is taxable or exempted? Tell me. Exempted. So no need to pay tax for this 6 lakh. It is what? Exempted. Receipt of Gurukul school providing education up to higher secondary are exempt from. Receipts of play kits providing education up to primary level, taxable, exempted. Exempted because they are education institution. Such receipts include receipts from renting of premises to commercial coaching 3 lakh. This is renting of what property? Immovable property. Only 5 services are exempted. Services by way of transportation of students, staff and faculty, catering services including midday meals, security, housekeeping and cleaning services, and conduct of examination, supply of online periodicals and journal. In that list, renting of immobile property is not. Hence, out of this 11 lakh, which we have to classify into 2 categories, my dear lovable students, 8 lakhs and 3 lakhs. This 8 lakh is exempted. This 3 lakh is taxable. So I can reduce only how much lakh? 8 lakh. So less receipts of play kits school providing education up to primary level, 8 lakh. It is exempted. However, receipt from renting of premises by the school to commercial coaching centers shall be liable to GST. So the value of taxable supply will be how much lakh? They totally received how much lakh? 20 lakh, 25 lakh. From that 25 lakh, 20 lakh is exempt supply. No need to pay GST for the exempt supply. So from 25 lakh, if you reduce how much lakh? 20 lakh. 5 lakhs is the taxable supply. On that 18% GST, 90,000 rupees. Comfortable, sir? So any services provided by an education institution to its students, staff and faculty are exempt from GST. I'm moving into question number 2. You should be very careful. Apollo Trainers Limited, a commercial coaching or training center, provides the various services as follows. So the service provider is limited company, Apollo Trainers Limited. What service they are going to provide? Training and coaching of hockey. Training and coaching of, sir, recreational coaching relating to culture and arts by an individual are exempt from GST. Sir, sports by a charitable trust are exempt from GST. That exemption we have not discussed till now. We are going to discuss in the coming slot. You tell me, my dear lovable students, is this hockey training has been provided by a charitable trust or other than charitable trust? Other than, so hence it is taxable. Training and coaching in the field of sports, liable to GST since exemption of sports training is available to a what institution only? Sir, we have not studied that institution, man. The next one, R stands for regulatory and registered charitable trust under section what? AA, 12AA. So if any charitable trust has provided the sports related activity, that is exempt from what? GST. Because even a sports also treated as a charitable activity. Sports also treated as a, if any sports coaching given by a charitable trust alone are exempt from GST. Number 2, coaching to students for preparation of IIT exam, taxable because this is like private tuition, right? Coaching for preparation of IIT is taxable. How much lakh? 25 lakh. Conduct admission test for admission to ICG college, providing qualification recognized by foreign law, taxable. It should be what law? conduct admission tests, taxable since qualification is not recognized by Indian law. Training in recreational activity relating to culture. So recreation coaching relating to arts and culture are exempted to an individual. To a what? This 10 lakh is collected by whom? Company, right? Sir, training in recreation activity relating to what? Culture. Sir, this is exempted, they have written. But what and what? Culture and arts is applicable to an individual. So this should be taxable. This should be what? Taxable. Receipts from sale of prospectus or application form to trainees. They sold the prospectus. Is there any specific exemption, my dear lovable students? No, sir. So this 10 lakh should be what? Taxable. Receipts from sale of prospectus or application form to trainee is taxable. 10 lakh is taxable. Sir, don't worry about this culture point because we are coming to the recreation coaching exemption. At that time, I will be highlighting. In that, culture and arts are applicable only to individual and sports are applicable only to charitable trust. A building which was let out to school providing preschool education. Taxable, exempted. Taxable, exempted. Taxable because this is not there in the 5 exemption what has been provided. So 6th point, man, building let out to school are taxable. How much lakh? 2 lakh. A postal coaching receipts 7 lakh. Is postal coaching taxable, exempted? Taxable. Postal coaching are taxable. Why taxable? Because there is no specific exemption are there. Placement services to MNC college providing qualification by Indian law. You tell me, is placement services taxable, exempted? Taxable because placement services are not there in the 5 services, right, man? So 10 lakh rupees is taxable. Placement services are taxable. Sir, receipts from running training center in relation to arts classes. Sir, 17 lakh. Sir, arts classes is exempted. That is recreational coaching relating to culture, arts and sports are exempted. In that, sir, my dear lovable students, culture and arts are applicable to an individual and sports is applicable to a value of taxable supply is this much. On that GST you are liable to pay at 18% come to this much. So whenever you are providing service to an education institution, think is that service are 5 services or not. If that services are 5 services, then it is exempt from GST. Otherwise, that is taxable. Hello, sir. That's why placement service are taxable. Sir, postal coaching receipts are taxable. Building let out to a school are taxable. Hello, sir. Conduct admission test are taxable, like that and all. So this is what Q stands for what? Qualification. So you tell me, A stands for agriculture and art related services. B stands for bridge. C, D, E, F, G, goods and GTA. It's H and courier agencies. H stands for healthcare services. I stands for immovable property and insurance. J stands for jungle. K, L, legal services. M stands for Mecca. N stands for NCCCD. O stands for other events. P stands for pension related services. Q stands for qualification. R, that's what we are going to talk about, regulatories. Regulatories means the people who are regulating. For example, you tell me bank is regulated by RBI. So we are having lot of regulatories, my dear lovable students. This is regulatory number 1. Services of life insurance business. Services of provided by way of annuity under the national pension system, regulated by Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India under the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Act are exempt from GST. Somewhere we have heard this exemption. We have heard this exemption in the insurance. There are 2 insurance are there, life insurance and the general insurance. Life insurance are, sir, services of what insurance business? Life insurance business provided by way of annuity. Provided by way of under the national pension scheme regulated by the pension fund regulatory and development authority. So pension fund regulatory and development authority of India. So services provided by pension fund regulatory and development authority of India are exempt from GST. Next one, the second regulatory. So this is regulatory number 1. Regulatory number 2. Services provided by ESIC. Who's ESIC? Employee State Insurance Corporation. To persons governed under the Employee State Insurance Act are exempt from what? GST. So services provided by the next regulatory. Who's the next regulatory? ESIC. Who's that ESIC? Employee State Insurance Corporation are. So first regulatory, services provided by Provident Fund, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India are services provided by Employee State Insurance Corporation are regulatory number 3. Services provided by EPFO. Who's that EPFO? Employee Provident Fund Organization to the persons governed under the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 are exempt from. Because these people are like the body. For example, bank will be taken care by RBI. But in F stands for financial service itself, we said that any services provided by RBI are taxable, taxable, taxable. Comfortable, sir? Yes, sir. Taxable, taxable, and taxable. So who are the remaining other regulatory? Services provided by Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India are exempted. Services provided by Employee State Insurance Corporation are. Services provided by Employee Provident Fund Organization are. Coming to regulatory number 4. Services by Coal Mine Provident Fund Organization. What mine? Coal Mine Provident Fund Organization to the person governed by the Coal Mine Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act are exempt from GST. And the last one, man, sir, regulatory number 5. Services by NPS. What is NPS? National Pension System. National Pension System to its members against consideration in the form of administrative fee are exempt from. Basically, these 5 are for the benefit of the employees. For the benefit of the number 1, services provided by Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Services provided by Employee State Insurance Corporation. Services provided by Employee Provident Fund Organization. Services provided by Coal Mine Provident Fund Organization. Services provided by National Pension System is exempt from. Sir, earlier these 3 were exempted, but now these 3 become. So services provided by RBI is taxable, taxable, taxable. Services provided by IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India is taxable, taxable, taxable. Services provided by SEBI is taxable, taxable, taxable. Because these 3 bodies are not existing for the benefit of the employees. So what government thought that why we have to give exemption for these bodies? We will withdraw the exemption. Now services provided by these regulatories are what? Taxable. So we can say like this, sir, certain regulatories are taxable and certain regulatories are. Who and all are taxable now? RBI. Services provided by RBI is taxable. Services provided by IRDA is taxable. Services provided by SEBI is taxable. Whereas these organizations are for the benefit of whom? Employees. Anyway, we know that services provided by the employee to the employer will neither be treated as supply of goods nor be treated as supply of services. Right? It is not at all a supply. So, if service has been provided to the employee, we don't want to, sir, what? Treat it as supply. So, it is exempted, man. So, services provided by Dash Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India are exempt from GST. Services provided by Coal Mine Provident Fund Organization are exempt from GST. Services provided by National Pension System are exempt from GST. Services provided by Employee Provident Fund Organization are exempt from GST. Services provided by ESIC are exempt from. So, certain regulatories who are providing services for the benefit of the employees are exempted, which are only 5. Number 1, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India, Coal Mine Provident Fund Organization of India, National Pension System, Employee Provident Fund Organization, and Employee State Insurance Corporation. Services provided by these people are exempt from GST. Whereas service provided by these regulatories, earlier it was exempted. Now it is what? Taxable. Number 1, services provided by RBI, services provided by IRDA, services provided by SEBI are taxable, taxable, taxable. Shall we proceed further, my dear lovable students? You tell me, A stands for agriculture, B stands for C, D, E. Sir, shall we quickly have a recall of set number 1 before we move into the next one? A stands for agriculture and art-related services. Sir, everyone, those who are having the book, take the book along with me. Sir, you also join for the revision. Only the first set, then I will be coming about the, sir, registered charitable trust under section 12AA. A stands for agriculture and art-related services. We have classified agriculture into how many parts? 2 parts. Part 1 and part 2. Part 1, supply of farm labor, basic agricultural operations, process carried out at agricultural farm, renting or leasing of agro-machinery or vacant land for the purpose of agriculture, loading, unloading, packing, storage and warehousing of agricultural produce, agriculture extension services, services provided by any agency for purchase or sale of. Part number 2, services by way of warehousing of minor forest produce, services by way of artificial insemination of livestock other than horses, services provided by way of carrying out intermediate production process as job work, services provided by way of fumigation in a warehouse of agriculture produce are taxable, taxable, taxable. Services by way of loading, unloading, packing, storage and warehousing of services or by way of storage or warehousing of cereals, pulses, fruits and vegetables are exempt from. Fantastic to the course. Shall we come to the, sir, art-related services? Services provided by a artist by way of performance in folk or classical art form of music, dance or theatre. If the consideration charged for such performance is not more than, however, exemption shall not apply to service provided by such artists as a, fantastic to the course. Shall we come to the B stands for bridge? Toll charges paid to access road or bridge are exempt from. Fantastic to the course. C stands for cab, classified into part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1, services by way of transportation of passengers by metered cab or auto rickshaw including e-rickshaw. Railway other than first class and AC, monorail, metro, tramway, inland waterways, public transport other than predominantly for tourism purpose in a vessel between places located in. Part 2, services by way of giving on hire to a state transport undertaking a motor vehicle meant to carry more than 12 passengers, or service provided to the central government by way of transportation of passenger with or without accompanied belongings by air, embarking or terminating at regional connectivity scheme airport against consideration in the form of viability gap funding are exempt from. Air in economy class which are terminating or originating from the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Sikkim, Nagaland, Tripura, Bagdogra are exempt from. Non-AC contract carriage other than radio taxi are exempt from. Sir, non-AC stage carriage are also exempt from. Fantastic to the core. Then we are having D stands for diplomatic mission. Services provided by a foreign diplomatic mission located in India are exempt from. Sir, transmission or distribution of electricity by a transmission or distribution utility are exempt from. And also service supplied by EDU. What is EDU? Electricity distribution utility by way of construction, erection, commissioning or installation of infrastructure for extending electricity distribution network up to the tube well of farmer or for agriculturist for agriculture use are. Now we'll be doing, my dear lovable students, which is, sir, the next one after R, registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB. Are you comfortable up to this? I'll be doing the exemption available to registered charitable trust and will give time for you to revision. You revise and come, we'll do the question of the registered charitable trust. Sir's exemption number 1. Services by an entity registered under 12AA or 12AB of the Income Tax Act by way of charitable activity are exempt from GST. So the service provider is the registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB. If they provide charitable activity, then it is exempt from what? GST. So who is the service provider? Charitable trust. What service they are providing? Charitable activity. Then that is exempt from. Now you read it once again. Services by an entity registered under section 12AA or of the Income Tax Act by way of charitable activity are exempt from GST. Fantastic to the court. In order to claim this exemption under this head, following 2 conditions should be satisfied. This is condition number 1 and condition number 2. That means in order to enjoy this exemption by the registered charitable trust under section 12A or 12AB, they should satisfy how many conditions? The entity is registered with Income Tax Authority under section 12AA or 12AB of the VAT Act. That entity should be a registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB. Number 2. The entity carries out one or more of the specified VAT activity. They should not do something they want. They should engage in providing what activity. It implies that tax is payable on any service other than by way of what activity to any other person subject to fulfillment of other condition or taxability provided by an entity registered under 12AA or 12AB of the VAT Act Income Tax. First of all, in order to enjoy this exemption, my dear lovable students, the charitable trust should be a registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB. And number 2, sir, they should be engaged in providing the charitable activity. Question arises, what is what activity? This is what charitable activity number 1. Charitable activity means activity relating to what? Health, public health. Sir, that institute, that charitable trust is taking care of public health by way of care or counseling of terminally what patient or persons with severe physical or mental disability or person afflicted with HIV or what? AIDS or person addicted to dependence forming substance such as narcotic drugs or what? Alcohol. That means what is charitable activity? Taking care of the public health is a what activity? Charitable activity. What and all we can say that we are taking care of public health? You are taking care of terminally what person? Ill person or person with severe physical or what disability or person afflicted with HIV or what? Or person addicted to a dependence like narcotic drugs or what? Alcohol. Or you are giving public awareness to the public health for preventive health, family planning or prevention of what and what? HIV infection. You are saying that don't do these activities and all. If you do these activities, you will be affected by HIV. Some people have taken or done those activities. You are taking care of those people. That is also a charitable activity. So charitable activity means, sir, giving guidance or those who have affected, taking care of them. This is a charitable. Then charitable activity number 2, my dear lovable students. Advancement of religion, spirituality or yoga. Sir, as a charitable institute, you are saying that, sir, be religious, everyday pray, or spirituality, or you are practicing what? Yoga. That is a what activity? Now, charitable activity number 3, advancement of educational program or skill development relating to abandoned, orphaned, or what children? You are educating the abandoned children, orphan children, or homeless children. Physically or mentally abused and what person? Traumatized person. Or prisoners or persons over the age of how many years? Residing in what area? What area? What area? In examination, this point will be testing. Instead of rural area, they will be giving urban area. Hello, sir. And the age is over and above how many years? So you are conducting education program for abandoned, orphan or homeless children, physically or mentally abused and traumatized person, prisoners and person over the age of how many years? Residing in what area? Preservation of environment including watershed forest and what? Wildlife. So there are 4 charitable activities are there. Number 1, sir, charitable activity means taking care of what? Health. Number 1. Number 2, advancement of religion, spirituality or what? Number 3, advancement of what program or skill development relating to 4 people, and preservation of environment including watershed, forest and wildlife. Now coming to the exemption once again. Services provided by an entity registered under 12AA or what? Of the Income Tax Act by way of charitable activity are exempt from GST. So in order to claim this exemption, they should satisfy how many conditions? Condition number 1, they should be a registered charitable trust under section 12AA or, and they should be engaged in providing one or more of the what activity? There are 4 charitable activities are there. Number 1, taking care of the public health, advancement of religion, spirituality or yoga, advancement of education program or skill development, preservation of environment including watershed. Sir, advancement of any other object of what public utility is not a charitable purpose. That means you have to specifically do these 4 things, then only it will be a charitable activity. You are doing something and saying that I am doing what? Charity, that we will not allow. So, general public utility is not a what activity? Charitable activity. And number 2, hostel accommodation. Accommodation service in hostel, including by trust having value up to 1,000 is what? Exempt. We already studied. Sir, renting of religious presence to a general public which is owned or managed by, sir, registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB, 1023C series organization, 1023 BBA are exempt from. However, this exemption will not be applicable where the limit is 1,000 or more, 10,000 or more per function and 10,000 or more per day. Right, sir? Yes, sir. That is what explained as this exemption number 2. So exemption number 1, if you are a charitable activity registered under 12AA or 12AB, if you are providing charitable, sir, activity, that is exempt from. Number 2, services by a person. You are a person. By way of conduct of any religious ceremony like priest, father in a church, sir, or lead in a mosque are exempt from what? GST. Their services are exempt. Or renting of presence of religious place meant for what public? Which is owned or managed by an entity registered as charitable or religious trust under section 12AA or 12AB, or a trust or an institution registered under section 1023C, or body or authority covered under 1023 BBA are exempt from what? Renting of religious presence to a general public, which is owned or managed by registered charitable trust under section 12AA, 1023C series organization or 1023 BBA are exempt from. However, nothing contained in entry B of this exemption shall apply to renting of room where charges are how much or more per day, or renting of premises, community hall, kalyana mandapam or open area, and the like charges are how much or more per day. Renting of shop or other spaces for business or commerce where charges are how much or more per month. 10,000 or more per month. This we have done, and from this area we have solved one question also. Are you comfortable, sir? This is what? Exemption number 2. Exemption number 3, we are having a old age home exemption that we'll be discussing. Don't worry at all. There is one old age home exemption. That old age home exemption is applicable to registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB also. So that old age home exemption is applicable to registered charitable trust under section 12AA or. Now exemption number 4, services by way of training or coaching in recreational activity relating to art or culture by a what? Individual. This is what I said when I taught you the qualification. Recreational coaching relating to culture or arts by an individual, by a, or sports by a what entity? Registered under 12AA or 12AB of the Income Tax Act are exempt from. So for a registered charitable trust under section 12A, 4 exemptions are applicable. Exemption number 1. If you are a charitable trust, if you are providing charitable activity, that is exempt from GST. Number 2. Services by a person by way of conduct of any what ceremony or renting of religious presents to a general public which is owned or managed by registered charitable trust under section 12A or 12AB or 1023 CCD's organization or 1023 BBA are exempt from GST. Exempt from GST. And my dear lovable students, but this exemption will not be applicable if the room rent is 1,000 or more per day or 10,000 or more per function or 10,000 or more per month. Right, fantastic to the core. What is exemption number 3? Old age home exemption are even applicable to what also? Registered charitable trust also. I have not said what is what? Old age home exemption. And the fourth one, sir, recreational coaching relating to, sir, art or culture by an individual. That means art or culture is applicable only to an. And sports by a registered charitable trust are exempt from what? GST. You tell me based on this whether these are taxable or not. Shiksha Academy, an educational institute run by Yes Trust, a charitable trust registered under 12AB of the Income Tax Act, has organized a skill development program for the old age people over the age of 65 years residing in Bangalore city urban area. Is this taxable? Is this first of all a urban area? So this is not a what activity? Charitable activity. So this is not exempt from service provided by Shiksha Academy do not fall within the purview of what activity? The relating to advancement of skill development relating to person over the above how many years are covered under the definition of charitable activity only when such persons are residing in what area? Example number 2. Sir, B Foundation, a charitable trust registered under 12AB of the Income Tax Act, has organized a yoga meditation camp for old age people. Is yoga a charitable activity? Hence it is exempt from. GST would be exempt on the same as service provided by NDT registered under what AB? By way of advancement of religion, spirituality or yoga are exempt from what? Sir, this charitable trust will get lot of donation, right? If donation is received with specific instruction or mutual understanding between donor and the receiver that religious place will host an advertising promoting business of the donor, such donation will be subject to GST. For example, tomorrow, if I am a charitable trust, tomorrow if you are giving 1 crore as donation to me, I am saying that I will put your name, whatever business you are conducting, in your name, ABC Limited has donated 1 crore. So whoever are coming to the temple will say that, oh, how good is ABC Limited? That is not the intention of ABC Limited. ABC Limited want their name to reach everywhere. So actually, charitable trust is providing an advertisement services to that donor. Then it is liable to what? However, if the donation is received without such instruction or without a quid pro quo in the form of supply of any goods or service by receiver to the donor, it shall not be subject to what? But the person who are donating is saying that please don't put my name or my business name or my premises name. Let no one know that I have given the charity. Then it will not be amount to what? Supply. So if charitable trust is providing advertisement services, then it will become supply. Otherwise, it will not become supply. Now, Yes Trust, a religious trust registered under 1023 BBA of the Income Tax Act, owns and manages a Gurudwara. It rent the community hall located in the precincts of Gurudwara for a rent of 9,000 per day for a marriage function. Taxable exempt. Exempted. Because up to 9,999 exempted, sir. The consideration so received is exempt from GST as the consideration is less than how much per day? Sir, Durga Devi Trust, a religious trust registered under what AB of the Income Tax Act, owns and manages a temple in their locality. It rents that commercial shop located in presence of temple for a rent of how much per month? Even though 10,000 or more is what? Taxable. Consideration so received is liable to what? GST as such service are exempt only when the consideration is less than how much? 10,000. So this is taxable. MS, a charitable trust registered under what AB? Of the Income Tax Act, has organized a basketball training camp. Is it sports? Is sports, sir, provided by charitable is exempted? GST would be exempt on the same. Service provided by NDT registered under what AB? By way of training or coaching in sports are exempt from. Comfortable, sir. Sir, we are going to apply this in a question. ABCT trust question. Sir, we are having only one question there. With that, we can say that we are through with, sir, R. R stands for regulatory and also what? Registered charitable trust under section 12A or you tell me set number 1. A stands for agriculture and art related services. Agriculture and art related services. B stands for C, D, E, electricity. F stands for financial services. G stands for goods and GTA and courier agency. Sir, H stands for healthcare services. I stands for immovable property and insurance services. Then J stands for jungle. Sir, P stands for, K stands for knowledge. L stands for legal services. M stands for N. O, P stands for pension. Q stands for, R stands for regulatories and registered charitable trust under section 12A or 12A. What you are supposed to do, take a 20 minutes break, my dear lovable students. Revise A, B, C, D, E along with questions. This part 1 Avapaka revision. And revise the provisions of R, both regulatories and registered charitable trust under section 12AA. Once you come back, I will teach you, sir, the one question. Then we will move into the introduction of Sarkar. S stands for Sarkar. In that Sarkar, this many exemptions are there with regard to Sarkar. Are you all really with me? We'll give the introduction to the Sarkar. Revise. Take 20 minutes break. Revise these 2 sets and come back. You'll be feeling so much comfortable, sir. In live, I hope that you are feeling comfortable, my dear lovable students. Live students, have a revision for 20 minutes. You are having book with you. Revise and come back. We'll be waiting for you. Now time is 12. We'll meet at 12:20 to complete the balance. அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க போய் yes, I hope that it is live, my dear lovable students. Is it audible? Everything is perfect. We have one question to solve in charitable trust. Is it live? Everything perfect? Shall we go for that question? Yes, I hope that you would have revised. A stands for agriculture and art related services. B stands for bridge. C stands for cab. And D stands for E stands for electricity. Fine, fantastic to the core. Shall we quickly recall charitable trust? What they are saying, if the service provider is charitable trust and the service is a charitable activity, then it is exempt from GST. In order to enjoy this exemption by the charitable trust, two conditions should be satisfied. Number one, trust should be a registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB. Number one. Number two, trust should do a charitable activity, my dear lovable students. What is the definition of charitable activity? Charitable activity means four things. Number one, taking care of public health. Number two, advancement of religion, spirituality or yoga. Advancement of educational program or skill development. And preservation of environment, including watershed, forests and wildlife. Number two, the second exemption. Services provided by a person by way of conduct of any what ceremony or renting of religious presents to a general public which is owned or managed by registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 1023CC this organization or 1023 BBA. However, this exemption will not be applicable if the monthly rent is, daily rent is 1,000 or more, or monthly rent is 10,000 or more for every function, and 10,000 or more for every monthly rent. And the third exemption, old age home exemption. And the fourth exemption, services provided by an individual recreation coaching in relation to arts or art or culture or sports by charitable activity are exempt from GST. Based on all the knowledge, we are going to apply to a question. Sir, when you do this question, basically you'll be having a satisfaction that we are learning very well. You check whether you are getting that satisfaction or not. ABCT and NDT registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act as furnishes you the following details with respect to activities undertaken by it. You are required to compute its GST liability from the information given below. Fees charged for yoga camp conducted by the trust. You tell me, is yoga camp a charitable activity? Yes, sir. Hence, it is exempt from GST. Look at the answer, man. Fees charged for yoga camp conducted by the trust is exempted, sir. Amount received for advancement of educational program relating to abandoned, orphaned or homeless children. Is it exempted? Because it's a charitable activity. Amount received for advancement of educational program relating to abandoned, orphaned or homeless children is exempt from. Amount received for renting of commercial property owned by the trust. Is that a charitable activity? No, sir. Sir, renting of commercial property is not a charitable activity. Hence, this is taxable, right? Is this taxable at FCM or RCM? We have nowhere studied RCM. So, this should be taxable at what? FCM. Sir, what? FCM. So, amount received for renting of commercial property owned or managed by the trust is taxable at FCM, because renting of immovable property, commercial immovable property, is not covered in the for charitable activity. So it is not exempted. So it should be what? Taxable. Payment made for service received. Wow. Service received. So charitable trust received a service. For that, the charitable trust made some payment from a service provider located in England. Service provider located in. So service provider is situated outside India, and service recipient is the registered charitable trust in India for the purpose of providing charitable activity in India. This is an importation of services as per section 7 subsection 1 clause B. Importation of services for a consideration whether or not in the course or furtherance of business is a supply. But this is not a taxable supply. This is an exempt supply as per section 6 of the IGST Act. In that importation of services, if the service provider is situated outside India and service recipient is a second person, which is registered charitable trust, who are situated in India for the purpose of providing charitable activity in India, are exempt. Because of that, this 10 lakh RCM will not be applicable. Service to be taxed on reverse charge basis. Payment made for service received from a service provider located in London for the purpose of providing charitable activity is exempt from GST. Are you able to connect the IGST exemption? What we have studied in 7 subsection 1 clause B. Sir, amount received for activity relating to preservation of forest and wildlife, is that a charitable activity? Yes, sir. So, my dear lovable students, sir, amount received for activity relating to preservation of forest and wildlife is exempted. Donation received, I already taught you the taxability of donation from Mr. Dhanveer for construction of orphanage in the memory of his father. Memory means what? Father has died. After death, what advertisement is there? So donated by Mr. Dhanveer, the memory of his father was written on the main door of the orphanage constructed with the said donation. You tell me, is this taxable or exempted? Is this taxable or exempted? You tell me, man, is this taxable or exempted? Is the charitable trust provided advertisement services? No, sir, because the person is dead. If the person is dead, no need to what? Treat it as a charitable activity. No need to treat it as an advertisement services. So, no GST will attract. A donation received from Mr. Dhanveer for construction of orphanage in the memory of his what? Father. Read the note number 5. CBIC by circular number something bar something has clarified that when the name of the donor is displayed in the recipient institution premises in such a manner which can said to be an expression of what? Gratitude and public recognition of donors' act of philanthropy and is not aimed at giving publicity to whom donor in such manner that it would be an advertising or promotion of his business, then it can be said that there is no supply of what? Services for a consideration in the form of donation. So if it is not an advertisement to the donor, we can say that there is no supply at all. Otherwise, there is a supply of advertisement services to the donor for which the consideration is only donation. There is no obligation quid pro quo on part of recipient of the donation or gift to do anything, supply of service. Therefore, there is no GST liability on such consideration. That means if the trust is not going to provide advertisement services, that is not a supply, GST will not be attracted. But if the trust is going to provide advertisement services, my dear lovable students, then that will be liable to what? GST. Fine, fantastic to the core. Sir, receipt of old age home meant for residents of 18 years or more. Consideration per month per member is how much? 5,000. Inclusive of boarding, lodging and maintenance 10 lakh is exempt from GST. There is an exemption called as old age home exemption. That we'll be discussing in the next alphabet. Hello, sir. But still, sir, pass on reference is coming. Receipt of old age home for residents of how many years or more. Consideration per month per member is rupees 5,000 inclusive of boarding, lodging and maintenance. My dear lovable students. Sir, read note number 4. Services by what age home? run by an entity registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act to its residents aged how much years or more. Against consideration up to how much rupees per month? 25,000 per month per member, provided that consideration charge is inclusive of charges for boarding, lodging and maintenance are what from tax? Exempt from tax. That means multiple conditions are there. The old age home should be run by the registered charitable trust under section 12AA or 12AB, point number 1. Number 2, they should provide old age home services to a resident aged how much years or more, where the monthly consideration should not collect how much? 25,000 is exempt from what? GST. Here all the condition has been satisfied. This exemption we are going to detail discuss in S stands for Sarkar, the next one. So my dear lovable students, for the value of taxable supply provided by the charitable trust is 35 lakh. This will be taxable at FCM, so 6 lakh 30,000. There is no activity to be paid on RCM, so the total GST liability will be 6 lakh 30,000. Comfortable, sir? Yes, sir. So with this we can say that R stands for what and what comes to an end? Regulatory son. So in the last slot we have discussed A stands for agriculture and art related services. B stands for bridge. C, cap D. E stands for. Now we'll be revising the next slot. F stands for financial services. F stands for what? Financial services. In that, sir, we are having 5 exemptions are there. Sir, number 1, services provided by RBI is taxable, taxable, taxable. Services provided by way of, join along with me, extending deposit, loan or advances insofar as the consideration is received by way of interest or discount other than credit card services, inter-purchase or sale of foreign currency between bank, authorized dealers, banks and authorized dealers are exempt from. Services provided by an acquiring bank to any person in relation to settlement of an amount up to 2,000 in a single transaction, transacted through debit card, credit card, charge card or any other payment card are exempt from. Services provided by an intermediary of financial services located in a multi-services SEZ with IFSC status to a customer located for international financial service in currency other than Indian rupee, are service provided by banking company to basic savings bank deposit account holders under Pradhana Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana are exempted. These are the F stands for financial services. Shall we recall G stands for goods? Services provided by way of transportation of goods by road except GTA and courier agency are exempt from. Services provided by transportation of goods by inland waterways are exempt from. Services provided by way of transportation of goods by air from a place outside India till the customs station of clearance in India are exempt from. Services provided by specified goods by rail or vessel are exempt from. Specified goods are relief material. Railway equipment are taxable, taxable, taxable. Defense or military equipment, agricultural produce, milk, salt and food grains including flour, rice and pulses, organic manure, newspaper and supply of service associated with transit cargo to Nepal and Bhutan are exempt from. Fantastic to the core. Then G stands for GTA services. Supply of services by GTA to 7 specified person located in taxable territory are exempt from GST. Hello sir. 7 specified person are factory, society, cooperative society, any registered person, body corporate, any partnership firm, whether registered or not, any casual taxable person, right? But if the GTA decided to travel through what charge? Forward charge, then RCM will not be applicable. Who's the person responsible to pay freight is the service recipient. But if the GTA service has been availed by, sir, a person who has taken registration only for the purpose of deducting TDS, is, sir, RCM will not be applicable. So GTA may adopt FCM, may not adopt FCM. If they adopt FCM, they are having 2 routes. Either they can travel through 12% route or 5% route, as the case may be. But if the GTA does not exercise the option to itself pay tax at FCM, then RCM will be applicable. Then 7 specified person located in taxable territory is the person liable to pay. So what we have understood is any services provided by GTA and courier agency are taxable. It's not like that. Even for GTA and courier agency, there are exemption. But in fact, sir, courier agency does not have any exemption. Sir, transportation of goods, Transportation of specified goods by GTA are exempt from GST. Services provided by GTA to an unregistered person are exempt from GST. But this exemption will not be applicable to a factory, society, cooperative society, body corporate, partnership firm, whether registered or not, and registered casual taxable person. Pakka, sir? Sir, service provided by GTA to a person who has taken registration only for the purpose of deducting TDS under section 51 are exempt from. Service provider by of giving on hire to a goods transport agency, a means of transportation of goods, are exempt from. And for courier agency, there is no specific exemption under section 11 or under section 6. And also, it will be taxable always at FCM. There is no concept of RCM for what agency? Courier agency. Fantastic to the course, sir. H stands for healthcare services. Healthcare services, in that A stands for ambulance services, B stands for biomedical waste treatment are taxable. Cord blood bank services are taxable. Healthcare services provided by a clinical establishment or authorized medical practitioner or paramedics are exempt from GST. Are you really with me? But in that, renting of rooms and renting of ICU, CCU, ICCU and NICU are there. Irrespective of the amount of consideration what you are collecting for ICU, CCU, ICCU and NICU, it is exempt from GST. Whereas for other rooms, you have to check whether the consideration is how much per day. Exceeds 5,000 per day. That if it exceeds 5,000 per day, taxable. Sir, if it is up to 5,000, it is what? Exempt from GST. Yes, sir. That's it with regard to H stands for healthcare services. And in that healthcare services, man, sir, you are having veterinary clinic services provided by a veterinary clinic in relation to healthcare of birds and animals are service provided by a rehabilitational professional recognized under the Rehabilitation Council by way of rehabilitation, therapy or counseling or such other activity as covered by said act are exempt from what? GST. I stands for what property? Surrendering of residential dwelling for residential purpose to an unregistered person are exempt from GST. For hotel and guest and in-house, sir, there is no limit now. And renting of religious presence which is owned or managed by registered charitable trust under section 12A or 12AB, 1023C series organization and 1023 BBA are exempt from. However, this exemption will not be applicable if the per day rent is 1,000 or more, or function rent is 10,000 or more, or per month rent is 10,000 or more. This we have done in the registered charitable trust. Are you comfortable, sir? So, for class, we can say that we have reached the exemption up to Q. Q stands for up to Q and R. R stands for regulatories and registered charitable trust under section 12. In the coming class, my dear lovable students, I will be completing yes. Yes stands for Sarkar is the target. It's a big exemption. So revise up to this very properly. Then only you'll be able to appreciate or understand the Sarkar. Sir, those who are in live, my dear lovable students, this is the yesterday's portion we have completed. What I am telling to you is after your lunch break, revise the exemption from A till now, all the question, because I have given the book to you. And today evening itself, 4:30, I'll do the live for Sarkar. From 4:30 to 5:30, 6:30, max to max 7 to 7:30, 2.5 hours. I'll be compensating today's class. I'll be completing Sarkar today. Then tomorrow morning, we'll be having live face-to-face class. In that, T, U, V, W, X, and Y will be completing. Then we'll be pending only with the Z, that is others. So the day after tomorrow, we can complete the exemption part. I hope that you are comfortable. Sir, after your revision, my dear lovable students, 960-500-1043, you can text me that complete exemption has been completed. Don't waste your time because we are going to write examination on Jan. If that is the case, my dear lovable students, you don't have much time. So after your lunch break, revise the entire exemption, especially all the question. Sir, try to attach the provisions with the question. We'll meet at the appropriate time, evening. Till that, thank you and bye-bye.